Now we're talking about Excel. So in the previous Excel class, we talked a lot about functions, right? We know how to do kurtosis, how to skewness, how to calculate the quartile, percentile, all those kind of things that the function, right, is given from the system. And sometimes you want to calculate everything once and for all, or calculating faster. That is possible to do it called add-in, okay? With a function, somewhat easy to calculate, but add-in is somewhat much more complicated operation, but it can be done in a much faster way. And but the thing is, because it only gives you the answer, okay? So that's why I don't show the steps. So that means it's not easy to see what's going on there. You don't know whether you do it right or wrong, but you give the answer quickly. So today we talk about NS2PAC. Okay. So to get started, maybe I should show the Excel. Okay. Do know that this is not the thing. I don't think this thing appear in the Google sheet. So if you use Google, probably this part will not be helpful. So let's see the let me share the screen. Okay. So I hope you can see the can see my Excel. Okay. You can see my spreadsheet, right? Maybe I should share the screen too. Okay. Is that okay? Can you see the screen? So here I have the file. Go click the file. Okay. Then click the option, file option. Okay. File and the option. Type file and the option. Is that clear for this one? Are you following? Good. And then here I have add in. Go to add in. Okay. If you see the NS2PAC, then you're lucky, then you're done. Okay. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes NS2PAC is not active, it's down there. Okay. But if it's not here or not, doesn't really matter. We need to manage. So go to Go. Okay. So let me write down the chart again. It's File, Option, and then Add in, and then Go. Okay. Now you can see I have NS2PAC button here. Click. But anyway, keep it clicked and click OK. Okay. At this point, if you are doing correctly, you should be able to see in the Data tab, there's what we call NS2PAC. Okay. So let's see if you able to do this. So please leave a message OK. So make sure everyone's on the same page. Good. The rest, can I have your confirmation for this one? Yes, thank you. Now, what we're going to do is to cannot find 0, 0. So just repeat once more quickly. Go to File, Option, and then Add in, and then Go. Then there should be NS2PAC here. If not found, then maybe when you install it, it should be there. There should be data analysis. Is that okay? Now, when you click in it, then actually there's a many things here. Actually, these are the things that will satisfy 70% of the calculation need for this class regarding Excel, okay? Because they would be contain most of stuff we have here, okay? So for today, we'll cover 3 things, okay? First is what we cover is descriptive statistics, okay? And then we'll cover correlation and covariance, okay? These are the three things that we really want to look at today. Okay, so before we have described the statistics, let's have data. Okay, let's have data X. Okay, with some numbers. Okay, let's create some number here. Some really matter number you create, maybe 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so these are the data that we're going to analyze. Of course, in the real world, later you collect for your homework one, that will be a little bit more complicated, but this is data. You can, whatever data you want, okay? And let's do data analysis, okay? This I have single column, but later I'll show you how you can do multiple column, that same thing. So data analysis, okay? And descriptive statistics. And click OK. Okay. So there are several things to fill in here. Okay. Here is input and his output. Okay. And input we have here is the A1 column. Okay. It's the input. And here I only have one column of data, data in column, so it's column. Okay. And because the first row is label, so that's why I put label in the first row. Okay. And then I would try to tell the data, the software, where to output. Then I just click here and select C1 would be the nice way to output my output. Okay. And here is the key is I need summary statistics. Okay. So once I do it, I click OK. Okay. And then the data, the software will directly output everything we need. Okay. Here. Okay. So you see, okay, our mean is this guy. Okay, so to check if it is the right thing, okay, usually that's what you do is to actually check that's the right thing, right? So that's why you can do is average of A2 to A7, okay, actually it's right, okay? So that's why you make sure that everything is all right, okay? Just make sure you understand what's going on here. Okay, P3, just average there. Okay, so the standard error is something we will learn in the topic 6. Okay, standard error is the mean divided is the standard deviation divided by root n. Okay, but let's forget about this at the moment. You will learn this later. Okay. The standard deviation, okay? So then you can check whether this is sample or not. So let's try to see if this is they give you the sample one or population one. Okay, so let's see if they fit it. Okay, now you can see actually they give you the population, not right, they give the sample one. Okay, so that is why you need to understand to check whether the software give you what. Okay, that's very important to understand to use software package because you don't know what you're getting, that's a problem. Okay, so that's why you always need to check whether you know the formula behind it. Okay, this sample variance, you can imagine this variance P, variance S, sorry, variance S. Okay, is there any question? I hope you can see my screen. Is it any question? Okay, so kurtosis, skewness range to maximum, minimum, count, and sum, and median and mode. Now you can come up with all the things. So basically, you can imagine you can do this for your assignment, right? You have this data, then you can decide what to present, right? And mean, median, mode, whatever, right? And although we don't cover in this class, I hope you know already how to insert a what we call diagram, right? So you have data like this, you can actually draw a diagram based on what kind of model you can check, histogram, all kind of the maps. So I hope that is something I don't need to go over that. Okay, so if you have two, so here I have the data set 1, but let's show you, actually you can do it when you have more than one column. There's no problem at all. So suppose I have the data here, let me copy, okay, and paste. Okay, I have X, I also have Y. Okay, suppose I have X and Y. Okay, maybe 10, 11, 12. Okay, you can have different number, but anyway. Then you can also do the data analysis. Okay, you can still click the two column here. Okay, first row is the label. Have the, now I don't want C1, it's a little bit too close, with the D1, and you put the output. Okay, then you know they will give you the answer here. Okay, do note that in this case the mode here is for X is nothing, because in some cases they will define if everything is just appear once, there's no mode. Okay, slightly different from what we define in the class. So that's, but you have to understand, as I said, there are two ways to define it in this way. And for the mode, in this case, only to appear, then you have this. Okay, so I hope that is a little bit clear. When you have many columns, they can calculate things as such. Okay, is there any question regarding this summary statistics? Is there a question? Any question? If no, then I will go to talk about the correlation and covariance. Okay, so let's try to create another one here. Okay, so remember now I want to do correlation, covariance and correlation, right? So the first thing to do is, as natural, you should do the data graphical analysis, although we didn't emphasize in the class, but usually what we do is data visualization first, right? This is a standard way to do, and also you should do it as you would do in your homework assignment to check. So you click the data and try to click the chart, scatter plot. Then actually you can see the how this chart looks like, right? So the sense it can be slightly weak, increasing, right? So you try to see if that's the case, right? This is somewhat, looks like somewhat increasing. There's increasing trend, right? We will try to do it by looking at the covariance, okay? And looking at it by using correlation coefficient, okay? So now what we do is go to data, okay? And go to data analysis, okay? And we go to covariance, okay? Covariance. Okay, and then the input range here is these two data set, okay, these two column. And the data is grouped by column because data appear in the columns. Label in the first row because there's a label in the first row. Output is where, maybe I put it D1 again, okay. So then done, okay. So here is the data, okay, covariance. Then it's not clear what they give us, right? Because it's not, it didn't say anything about with a sample or this is a population. So first you need to check it, okay? So what we're going to do is see covariance P, okay? See if it's a P, okay? If not P, then must be S anyway. So it's just try to see the P. So covariance this. I hope now you should be clear about this because after, is that okay for this one? Okay, you check 2.444, then seems to be, so what they give is actually the population one, okay? Because you can check if you try to see, is it sample? The answer is probably not, right? So it's not. So basically the sample one. So that's the population one. So what they give is the population covariance. Okay, is that okay for this one? Any question? Can I have you say okay, if you're okay? So now with the very last part is the correlation, okay? Correlation. So we do correlation, okay? We click OK, and then again, we just, the input is going to be including this A1 up to B7, okay? Okay, maybe if you're able, you can follow me. And you choose grouped by columns, okay? And the label in the first row, okay, is yes, because all label. If you don't click this, you can just from B2, A2 to B7, okay? You don't start from A1, start from B2, so A2, okay? And with output, you can output here, okay? B5, and then click OK. Oh, sorry, what are the number between? Oh, okay. So someone, let me finish this and I answer the question, Junso. So let me see. So this is correlation coefficient, okay? Someone asked me what's this number, okay? Actually, they give you answer already, but when we write covariance, actually this one's a variance. Its own variance. Because that is the, I don't know whether I can write it on this slide, because covariance XX is variance X, so standard later you I don't think we'll explicitly write, but that is covariance of X and X is indeed variance. You can check the formula. Okay, so this is 1, because correlation between X and X is 1. Correlation between X and Y will be the so you can check CORREL. Okay. This column and this column will give you this answer. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much of today. I just show you the answer here. Okay, but in case you still have a question, then I think that we just before the end, I think that would be fine. Yeah, so I guess that's the end of the day. Thank you, bye-bye. Next class, we will talk about probability. So I think that's the end. Have a nice day. So I see you next week. So I stay around any question you might have. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Sorry, can I ask how to get the graph?
This one?
Yeah.
So scatter plot is, so go to insert. And here you can see the scatter plot. Can you see that?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So basically you can just highlight this 2 column and click this one, then come out.
Okay.
So okay? You can
Okay, thank you.
come out the stuff. So you can try.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So someone asked me correlation coefficient covariance. Oh, you remember the textbook? Correlation coefficient is covariance over standard deviation of the two. Oh, when do we use it? Oh, correlation coefficient is something we use more often because you can see it's not very strong, right? 0.26. Basically, there's no relationship. So this is normalized to 1, right? Correlation coefficient is more often used. Covariance a little bit intermediate step. Sometimes we still use it, but it is more like correlation coefficient. So that's usually report that thing rather than the covariance. Hui, do you have another question? Hui, are you? I hope I pronounce your name correctly. And Kai Chung, any question? If no, then any more questions? If no, then I would